Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So as you guys could tell by the title of this video is going to be about what vibes do you give off, okay? So we're going to be using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot for the card selections. So what vibes do you give off? So let's get started. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? So pile number one, we have the Tower. Pile number two, we have the Queen of Wands. And pile number three, we have the Queen of Swords, okay? So pile number one, the Tower. Pile number two, the Queen of Wands. And pile number three, the Queen of Swords, okay? So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamp in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi Pawan! Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number one, you picked the Tower, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pile or previous readings, okay? So my pile number one, if you would like to know the decks that I'm using today, I'll be listing them in the description box below. So let's get started. My pile number one. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? I'm getting powerful vibes with the Tower because I feel like your looks don't really match your vibe. So maybe you come off like, you know, as sweet, calm, cool, and collected, but the energy that you give off is very powerful. It's very strong. Your presence is felt when you walk in the room. So let's say when you walk in the room, people could sense your presence, but when they turn around and see who it is, it's like they're like breathtaking, or they're just shocked, okay? Because the Tower is like unexpected change or shock, okay? Something that you're not expecting to see, okay? So this is what I'm getting here with the Tower. You could have Scorpio in your chart. Very powerful energy, pile number one. So what vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see Sun. Very powerful, okay? Leo energy. Flamboyant energy as well. Your vibe is very like soft. I'm getting as well with the Leo energy is soft but yet so strong, okay? We have the strength, not the strength, sorry. This is Death card, Scorpio energy again. So very powerful energy, pile number one, okay? Transformative, mysterious. You have a mysterious vibe to you. People don't know what to expect. They don't know what you're thinking. It's like you have this allure vibe to you where people are wondering what you're about, okay? They can't figure you out. You're hard to read, okay? This is the vibe I'm getting from you, pile number one. So what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? Nine of Cups. What vibes do you give off? We have the Eight of Pentacles. I just heard that Aaliyah song, Are You That Somebody? So maybe some of you could be Aaliyah fans, but you see the star. You have a healing energy to you as well. So you attract a lot of people. Your vibe is magnetic. I'm getting the Nine of Cups. You give the vibe that you have everything that you desire in life with the Nine of Cups. That you're highly skilled with the Eight of Pentacles, that you're dedicated, that you're a hard worker. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you do things in a meticulous way. You're detail oriented, so maybe like the way you dress, everything matches. Your hair is done, your toes are done, everything is done. So that's like, you know, I'm getting like even your hair, the way you style your hair is very neat. Whether you're male or female here, this is what I'm getting, the vibe. And you come off, the vibe that you give off is that you may be a star, or you may be very popular, that you are of high status or socialite with the star here. What vibes does my pile number one give off? What vibe does my pile number one give off? Wow, we have the High Priestess, mystery again. You see, Five of Cups. We have the King of Pentacles, okay? So dependable, reliable, okay, but also very reserved, because the King of Pentacles can represent a reserved energy, and the High Priestess as well. But also with the Death card and the High Priestess, this is all like water energy, very alluring. I'm also getting very highly intuitive. That's the vibe that you give off. Like, you know things that people don't want to say. So some people may find you a little bit intimidating because your eyes are very piercing, okay? Like Scorpio, like you could see through people, like X-ray vision. And some people don't really like that because they feel naked around you. Not in the sense like the literal sense naked, but like you could see through their soul. And some people, they don't really like that, okay? They try to stay away from you because of that, okay? That's the vibe that you give off, that you could read them like an open book, and they don't really like that, okay? Pile number one. And I feel like this is where the Tower comes in. It's unexpected to them that you could read them like that. And I feel like you could read them without even saying a word, okay? So they know, they could sense it, that you're like reading them and that you're right about them. So you could tell like their intention, if they have bad intention towards you, okay? I'm also getting with the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups could represent regret, sorrow, okay? So the vibe that you give off is that, not that you have regret or you have sorrow, but like people that get to know you, and if they betray you, like they're going to regret it. Not in the sense that you're going to do something bad to them, but they're going to miss out on somebody great, okay? Somebody who has the potential to help them heal, help them move to the next level of their life. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? With the Five of Cups. I'm not getting like regret per se, that you're the one regretting it. It's more them regretting it, okay? So what vibes do you give off? We have the King of Cups, highly intuitive, very caring energy, okay? But I'm just more focused on the intuition. And you're very reserved, okay? So like I said, it's really hard to read you, but it's easy for you to read others. And some people, they don't like to be around you because of that reason, okay? What vibes do you give off? We have the Lovers. A very sensual vibe with the Lovers, attractive energy. What vibes do you give off? We have Moon. Wow, we see all the waters all in line. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, okay? Very intuitive energy, mysterious. The Moon is very mysterious, very alluring, okay? Illusion as well. It's like there's more to you that meets the eyes. This is the vibe that you give off, okay? A lot of people are very attracted to you with the Lovers, because the Lovers could represent sexual attraction as well. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal? We have the Hermit, didn't I say? Wise, that you're very healthy, that you like to spend a lot of time alone. This is why I was getting that reserved type of energy. You're introvert. That's the vibe that you give off. That you're very observant, because Virgo is very observant sign, okay? We have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is highly creative, very exciting. That you do give off the vibe that even though you are reserved, once people get to know you, you really have like that fun, playful side to you. But it's like hidden because you don't trust people. I'm getting like suspicious. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you're very suspicious of people's motives, okay? You have strong barriers, strong boundaries. What vibes do you give off? We have the 10 of Cups. What vibes do you give off? That you have a happy home, that you come from a stable home, like you're emotionally mature and emotionally stable with the 10 of Cups, but you're very happy altogether, okay? What vibes do you give off? We have the World, that you're well-traveled, okay, with the World here. What vibes do you give off? We have the Page of Cups, imaginative, that you give off a vibe like, yeah, you're very imaginative, like you're always in your own world. You don't mind being alone. You don't mind like spending most of your time by yourself. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 1? What vibes do you give off? We have the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands, okay? The 10 of Wands could represent having a lot of responsibilities, and the 9 of Wands is like somebody who's been through a lot of struggles in life. So that's the vibe that you give off. And then you give off the vibe as well, I'm getting with these 2 cards, that because of life's experiences, this is the reason why you're mostly on guard, that you don't really trust people that easily, and that it takes you a long time to warm up to people. Like you're not the type of person that's going to start talking about your whole life story. Like you listen a lot, you do more of the listening than the talking, okay? That's the vibe that you give off. Like you're just really hard to read. What vibes do you give off? We have Justice, a Libra energy, okay? Diplomatic energy, that you're fair in your dealings. You treat people with integrity. You're truthful. We also have the Lovers again at the bottom of the deck, Gemini energy. So very truthful energy, okay? So what vibes do you give off? We have 6 of Wands, victorious, that you're prestigious, or you have like a prestigious position, or you hold yourself at high regards, okay, with the 6 of Wands. What vibes do you give off? We have the Hangman. Yeah, you're more reserved, because the Hangman is somebody who takes a temporary pause, who likes to look at things from a different perspective, who takes a pause before taking the leap, taking action, okay? Who thinks outside the box. That's the vibe that you give off. So what, like, the vibe that you give off is like, you're not going to be rushed into making a decision. You like to take your time. You like to analyze things with the Virgo energy, Hermit, okay? You like to, take a step back and reevaluate, reassess the situation before you make a move. That's the vibe that you give off, like the quiet, observant type, okay? What vibes do you give off? Yeah, Temperance. A lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. When you speak, you have something to say. You don't just talk to talk, okay? And when you talk about things that are concrete, that make sense, that has value, that has meaning, okay? That's the vibe that you give off. That you're well-tempered, okay? What vibes do you give off? Okay, that you're disciplined with the Chariot, that you are goal-oriented, that you have a strong will. You know what you want out of life. You know where you're going, okay? You're very focused, okay? You have a structure for yourself, and you're a go-getter. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off? We have the 8 of Wands. You're a manifester. Like you're very focused and you're highly creative. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see the nice day? The Hierophant. This is like a guru, a teacher, and we have all the teachers here. Okay, or like I said earlier, that you could be like have a prestigious position. You're highly respected. This is what I'm like. You also give off the vibe that you're traditional as well with the Hierophant. Like you like to do things by the book. You have a lot of integrity. This is the vibe I'm getting here. You could be a Taurus, you could be a Libra, you could be Sagittarius, Gemini. What else do we have here? Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, okay? And Leo too. What vibes do you give off? What's the card? Wow, we have the 2 cups. That you could make a great partner, a great lover. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 1? Yeah, you see? 4 of Wands. That you would be a great lover, okay? That you come from a stable home as well, but also with the 4 of Wands, like you have a solid foundation. You're a stable person, you're reliable. People could people trust you easily. Even though you may not trust people, but they trust you. There is like a sense to you that they can rely on you. They like your word is true. You have a lot of integrity. That's the vibe that you give off. So that's why the people that don't like when you read them, the reason why they don't like that is because they're false, okay? They're fake. That's why they don't want you to see through the illusion that or the facade that they have, okay? And that's why like your energy is a little bit intimidating to them, okay? So what vibes does my pal number 1 give off? Spirit, just one more card. We have 2, so I'm not taking them. Just one. What vibes? Thank you. 9 of Pentacles. You're living a life of abundance, okay? Self-sufficient, that's the vibe that you give off. That Virgo energy, okay? That you did everything on your own merits. And this is why we have the 8 of Pentacles. You're dedicated, okay? You are highly skilled. This is the vibe that you give off. That you're good on your own, that you don't really need people. The reason why you are around people is because you want to, not because you need to. That's the vibe that you give off. And that you come from a prestigious background, or you worked really hard to get to the level that you are in your life today. It was on your own merit. This is the vibe that you give off, okay? So that's all I have for you, my pal number 1. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 1. Bye. Hi pal 2, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number 2, you picked the Queen of Wands. So this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 2, if you would like to know the decks that I'm using today, I'll be listing them in the description box below. So let's get started, my pal number 2. What vibes do you give off? Okay, that I'm getting with the Queen of Wands that you're very confident in yourself, okay? That you have high self-esteem, that you're a go-getter, a self-starter, that you believe in yourself with the Queen of Wands, okay? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 2? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 2? Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. What vibes do you give off? We have the 2 Wands. What vibes do you give off? We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the 4 of Cups. Okay. I'm getting with the 4 of Cups. I don't know why I'm getting this energy. That you may be bored around people, or that you get bored easily. You could have Sagittarius in your chart, because we do have the Queen of Wands. Like you're always up for the next adventure, okay? You're always on to the next. You never stay at one place for too long, okay? And you're always like freshness, newness, okay? Excitement in your life. This is the vibe that you give off, that you're always on to the next adventure with the Wheel of Fortune. You make your own luck by positioning yourself in the right position, okay? To Like basically what you do is that you envision a future for yourself and you act accordingly. This is the vibe that you give off, that you're always on to the next. You always like to the next adventure. You're never at the same spot. And we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a loving, nurturing energy. That's another vibe that you give off, that you're very caring for the people that you love. You give all of your attention, okay? You're very dedicated with the Queen of Cups. But this is where I was getting the adventure, the 2 wands. There's the globe. He's holding the globe in his hand, so that you're well traveled. You like to drive fast cars. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you always like extreme sports. Maybe some of you like extreme sports with the 2 of wands. That's the vibe that I'm getting, that you're giving off to people. Even if you don't like extreme sports, that's just a vibe that people get from you, that you may be the type to do bungee jumping, okay? That moto dirt bike, I think that's what it's called. That's the vibe that you give off. And we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups could represent self-love. You have a healthy amount of self-love. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? And it reflects on how you treat others. The Queen of Wands is out again, okay? Self-confident. That's the vibe that you give off. We have the Hierophant, that you're traditional, that you're wise beyond your years as well, okay? You do things by the book. You don't like to cut corners, okay? You're truthful in your dealings. That's the vibe that you give off. The Queen of Wands is here twice, so definitely you could have fire in your chart. So Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries in your chart. Very beautiful, very alluring, okay? So you could be, well, for the men here, like you're handsome, I'm getting. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you take really good care of your physical appearance, that it really matters to you, not in a conceited way, but just because it makes you feel good. You stand strong, you stand tall, like you have a really good posture. Some of you give off the vibe that you could be models, okay? Or you did modeling before. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. What vibes do you give off? What vibes does my pal number? We have the King of Pentacles, that you are financially stable. We have the Knight of Swords, but it came out in reverse. So Knight of Swords in reverse could represent reckless energy, but also it could represent stagnant energy, okay? So I'm not getting reckless from you. I'm getting more, not stagnant, but like just slow to, like not so quick to make a decision, okay? You like to think before you make a move, because it's right beside the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is not like a fast energy, is more of a steady, grounded energy. So your mind is more steady, your mind is more grounded. You're not quick to make a decision. You take your time before you leap. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? Even though you're always on to the next thing, but you think about it before you jump. You don't just jump because you feel like it. Yes, you want to jump to the next like adventure, but you like to be prepared. You're more grounded here because we have the King of Pentacles. So you do have a really good balance, because we have almost all the elements here. All we're missing is like a Queen or a King of Swords to bring all the elements together. But you have a really good balance, okay? You have the confidence to see it through. You have the emotional intelligence, and you have like the physical like stamina. You also have the wisdom as well, because Earth can represent wisdom. You understand how to move. You understand the laws of the universe. That's the vibes that you give off, okay? What vibes does my pal number 2 give off? We have the Tower. Scorpio energy. What vibes do you give off? We have the Lovers, Gemini energy. What vibes does my pal number 2 give off? Oh, we have the 9 of Wands. What vibes does my pal? We have the Magician, okay? Highly skilled. And I was getting that energy, but the card came out. You're highly skilled. We have the Page of Swords. You're highly observant. You like to take notes. You watch people even though they don't know that you're like, even though they think that you're not watching, you are paying attention. You pay attention to every little detail. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? That you take a lot of mental notes with the Page of Swords, okay? And I'm also getting, let's go back to the Tower. The Tower is unexpected change. So you have this element of surprise to you. That's the vibe. Like, you surprise people. Okay, you have there's something about you that's unexpected. Certain things that you say, certain things that you do is unexpected to people. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off, that there's more to you than meets the eyes. Okay, so kind of like not exactly the same energy as pile number 1, but there's like similarities. Okay, there's more to you than meets the eyes. You're not just like an average Joe. This is what I'm getting here for you, pile number 2. Okay, and I'm also getting with the Lovers. Yeah, you're not an average Joe. You have a lot of skills, a lot of talent. You know a lot more than you lead on. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off with the Magician. So you could definitely have Gemini in your chart, because we have the Lovers and the Magician, both Gemini energy or Virgo. Okay, and we have the Magician again. So what vibes do you give off? We have the King of Cups. Okay, so what vibes do you give off? We have the Page of Wands. Exciting, good news. Okay, very exciting. What? Okay, we have the Death card, Scorpio energy. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, the Tower is here again. That's that Scorpio energy, transformative energy, but also very magnetic energy, alluring. That's the vibe that you give off. Very transformative. Okay, like I'm getting mysterious vibes. Okay, people cannot pinpoint your next move. They cannot tell what you're going to do. They think that they know you, but you always have, like I said, this element of surprise to you. You just amaze people. The more and more they get to know you, the more and more they're amazed. Like, people cannot read you like they think they can. Okay, every time they try to read you, they're wrong. Like, I'm getting highly intuitive with the King and the Queen of Cups. That's the vibe that you give off. Very observant. Page of Swords is here again. So you observe people to the T. You see things that most people miss. That's the vibe that you give off. Like, you give off the vibe that you are a detective. And that's Scorpio energy. Scorpios could make really good detective, okay? Because they, not only that they pay attention, they also trust their intuition, okay? What they feel about somebody, and they like to dig to know the truth. They like to go into depth. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? That you have the detective vibe. You ask the right questions, because the Page of Swords could represent like a student, somebody who asks a lot of questions, like to probe people, okay? That's the vibe that you give off, that you could find out anything about anybody pretty much. We have the High Priestess, okay? Didn't I say highly intuitive? That's the vibe that you give off. Like, you can pick up on people's emotion. You know when somebody's sad. You know when somebody's upset. You know when somebody's happy, having a good day, okay? You could feel it. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? That people cannot lie to you. You're a human lie detector. That's the vibe that you give off. So my pile number 2, what vibes do you give off? We have the Nine of Pentacles, that you are abundant, that you're self-sufficient, that you could do on your own. We have the Nine of Wands again. Yeah, you've been through a lot in life. This is the reason why you're self-sufficient. You were able to, lose it all and get it all back, okay? Right back. We have 999 endings. Yeah, we have the Hermit. Highly intuitive. I'm also getting with the Hermit, very wise beyond your years. You like to spend time alone, but also mysterious. Health conscious. That's the vibe that you give off. That you like to go to the gym. Like, people look at you and you give off the vibe that you work 5 times a week. That's the vibe I'm getting here. What vibes do you give off, my pal? We have the Knight of Wands, that you're very popular, that you get a lot of attention. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands. What vibes do you give off? We have the Knight of Pentacles, that you pay a lot of attention to details, that you're very detail oriented. That's similar to the Page of Swords. That's what I was getting, like you pay a lot of attention to details, you watch people, you analyze people, you watch them closely. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? Like very observant. This is what I was getting, like similar energy to pile number one. So you may, if you're feel called to watch pile number one, maybe you should, okay? If you're not, then don't watch it. But I'm really getting that vibe, similar vibe, but it was not the same cards, but the energy is kind of like similar, where you're very observant. You pay attention to people. But I'm getting with the Knight of Wands, this is that like flamboyant energy, that passionate energy that I'm getting from the Queen of Wands. You have it twice. You're very confident in yourself. You get a lot of attention. I'm getting, you give off the vibe that you get a lot, like you have a lot of HO, okay? Because I don't want to swear, but if you guys don't know, just put the HO together and it's going to tell you what it is. But that's the vibe that you give off, like for the opposite sex or same sex. You give off that vibe that you get a lot of suitors, you have a lot of attention, all eyes on you, okay? It's easy for you to, you know, get a date. That's the vibe that you give off, that you have a lot of suitors. Yeah, you see, Three of Cups, that you may have a lot of friends, but I'm getting also Three of Cups could represent third party. So you may have a lot of suitors, a lot of people that want to be around you in your energy. That's the vibe that you give off. We have the Page of Pentacles, but you keep people at arm's length, like you friend zone. Like you give off the vibe that you're the type of person that likes to friend zone people. Okay, because the Three of Cups could represent friends and the Page of Pentacles represents friends as well. So that's the vibe that you give off, okay? That you're more focused on your coins with the Nine of Pentacles. You're more focused on building yourself up than in relationship, because we don't even have the Two of Cups here. Yes, we do have the Lovers, but that's the vibe people are getting from you, that sexual energy. However, you're more focused on yourself, okay? The Nine of Pentacles is a self-sufficient energy. And like I said, people think that you have a lot of women or you have a lot of men. You get a lot of attention. You like to friend zone people. You may be a heartbreaker, I'm getting as well. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you see the Three of Wands is here. You're more about planning of your future. You're more action oriented. You're not really focused on like establishing a solid connection right now. You're more on the self-love journey. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. All right, so that's all I have for you, my pal number two. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number two. Bye. Hi pal three, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number three, you picked the Queen of Swords. So this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number three, if you would like to know the decks that I'm using today, I'll be listing them in the description box below, okay? So my pal number three, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? Okay, so with the Queen of Swords, I'm getting like you give off the vibe that you are a bookworm. You like to read a lot of books, okay? That you maybe graduated from university or college, okay? Some of you give off the vibe that you could be a lawyer or like in law school with the Queen of Swords. What vibes do you give off? What vibes does my pal number three give off? What vibes does my pal number three? We have the Magician, okay, Gemini, Virgo energy. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy. So yes, like you're very intelligent, okay? You're like, you come off that you're always in your head, in your own bubble. That's the vibe that you give off. Wow, we have the Empress. Okay, some people feel like you're out of their league because we have the Two Cups at the bottom of the deck, that you're out of their league. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? That definitely out of their league. We have the Six of Pentacles, that you require equal give and take. We have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Didn't I say self-sufficient? Okay, you are like, you give, I'm really getting like you give off the vibe that you're out of people's league. Okay, because that you bring a lot to the table. You did it on your own. We have the Six of Pentacles. You give off the vibe that once you're in a relationship, you want to be able to receive what you're giving out. And because of you are of high status with the Empress here, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Magician. I'm really getting like some people feel like they cannot approach you because of that. That's the vibe that you give off. That you have everything in order, and then anybody who steps to you, they have to be an emperor. They cannot be a king, they cannot be a knight, and they cannot be a page. They have to be well established to come towards you, or else you're gonna cut them off with the Queen of Swords. Like, you don't have a problem cutting people off, and you don't have a problem staying by yourself with the Nine of Pentacles. So what vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So you're slow to make a decision. You're slow to make a move. You take your time. Okay, you're not in a rush to be in a relationship. We have the Sun here, Leo energy. That you have high self-esteem. That's the vibe that you give off. This is why I'm getting like you're not afraid to cut off people that do not vibe with you, that do not vibrate at the same energy as you, and you have like healthy self-confidence, not conceited, because you know you have everything to back it up. Though even though we have the Empress here, we have the Magician, you are highly skilled, and we have the Nine of Pentacles, you are self-sufficient. It's not like you're using your beauty to get what you want from others. You already have it all. We have the Nine of Pentacles, so you don't really need anybody else. If they're gonna come in your life, they have to have something of substance, not just looks. They have to have character. They have to have integrity. They have to have their own money, because you're not gonna be taking care of no grown man or no grown woman. You're not gonna do that. You want somebody who's gonna be equally yoked to you. That's the vibe that you give off. So what vibe does my pal? Okay, so you give off the vibe that there's a lot of people that are heartbroken over you, and there's a lot of people that are watching you, okay? You have a lot of secret admirers with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. I'm getting like there's a lot of people that are regret losing you with the Page of Cups. That's the vibe that you give off, that you have a lot of like people that are heartbroken over you, okay, because of the fact that you cut them off. Okay, let's see. We have the Two Cups and we have the Knight of Cups. That's the vibe that you give off, that you're a great partner. However, you have a lot of suitors, because a Knight of Cups could represent a suitor, somebody who wants to take you out on a date, somebody who wants to wine and dine you. That's the vibe that you give off, that you have a lot of people that want to be with you. Yeah, because we also have the Lovers here. You make the ideal partner. That's the vibe that you give off. Some of you give off the vibe that you're already taken, that you're married. Okay, what vibes do you give off? What vibes, my pal number 3, do you give off? That you're a great judge of character with the Judgment here. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles, that you're highly skilled, and I sense that because we have the Magician. This is another card that's saying that somebody who's highly skilled. Okay, that you're dedicated, that you're very focused, or you're on your grind. You don't have time for nonsense. That's the vibe I'm really getting with the Queen of Swords. no nonsense with you. Somebody behaves in a way that you don't like, you're not afraid to cut them off, okay? And some people, they know that they have to tread lightly with you because they don't want to be caught up in your bad side. It's not like if they caught up in your bad side, you're going to do something to them. It's more like, okay, you do something to me, you're cut off. I'm not talking to you ever again. Like, you do not exist to me, and you go cold with the Queen of Swords, and you're not afraid to be in that energy because you don't use it to do bad. If somebody's doing something to you and you don't like it, I feel like you're going to communicate it as well before you cut them off, but you're not going to give them another chance to do it. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. Okay, so what vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? We have death. We have the 9 of Pentacles again. Didn't I say self-sufficient? We have the death card. Alluring energy. That's the vibe that you give off. Okay. Transformative. We have the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles is like an energy of collaboration. Like, you work well with others. You're a great team player. Like, you're a great person to have on your side. This is the vibe that you give off. Like, you are an asset to people. Whether it's like friendship, family, relationship, partnership, like business-wise, you are an asset to people. That's the vibe that you give off. That you are reliable and you're trustworthy. And that's the Knight of Pentacles as well, okay? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? We have Temperance. That you're calm, cool, and collected. That you're wise, okay? What vibes do you give off? Ooh, you make people nervous with the 8 of Swords and the High Priestess. You make people, you give people anxiety with the 8 of Swords. You give off the vibe that you could tell people secrets with the High Priestess, because High Priestess could represent secret, hidden knowledge. You give the vibe that you have hidden knowledge as well, especially with the Temperance and the High Priestess coming together. That's the vibe that you give off to people, and you make them nervous. We have the 2 Cups again, Lovers energy. We have the 2 Cups twice, and we have the Lovers. Okay, very like strong partnership. That's the vibe that you give off, that you are a loyal partner, that once you in a committed relationship, you are in it for the long haul. You do not waver. You're not in and out. Okay, you're not wishy-washy. That's the vibe that you give off. You're very dedicated to anything that you put your mind to. You're dedicated, whether it's like a project, whether it's like, you know, your love life, your finances. You're dedicated. That's the vibe that you give off, and you're reliable. Okay, you're a great team player, because we do have the 3 of Pentacles. So what vibes do you give off, my pal number? We have the King of Swords. You see, you give off the vibe that you would be like you could hold a great conversation with the King of Swords. Okay, you're highly intellectual. This is the vibe that you give off. Like, you're very smart. Some of you, like, I'm even getting like genius vibes. Okay, that you graduated at the top of your class with honors. That's the vibe that you give off as well. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? Wow, we have the Ace of Cups. That you have healthy amount of self-love with the Ace of Cups. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? What vibes do you give off? Yeah, King of Pentacles. Trustworthy vibe, okay, with the King of Pentacles. Reliability. And that's going back to the 9 of Pentacles, because the 9 of Pentacles is similar to the King of Pentacles when it comes to self-sufficient, reliability, could do it on your own. That's the vibe that you give off, that you will be a great partner. What vibes do you give off? Like, I'm also getting with the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, it's like you give off the vibe that you are serious. Okay, you don't take things lightly. It's not a joke for you. Whatever you put your mind into, whatever you are dedicated to, is very serious to you. You don't take people's feelings as a joke as well. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you take relationship and friendship very seriously, and it means a lot to you. Okay, you're sincere. That's the vibe that you give off. What do we have here? We have the Eight of Wands. What vibes do you give off? We have the Three of Pentacles. Wow, you see, again, dedication, hardworking, but also you're really good with teamwork, okay? You give off the vibe as well with the Eight of Wands is manifestation, okay? Fast movement forward. And the Three of Pentacles is like collaboration, working together as a team. So when people work with you, you give off the vibe that you make things happen very quickly when you're part of a team, okay? Like I said, you're a great addition to a team. You are an asset. You are like, when whatever you touch something, it turns to gold. You have the Midas touch, okay? We have the Four of Wands, ideal partner. This is the vibe that you give off, that you will be a great parent, a great lover, okay? That you're solid, that you're reliable. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, didn't I say you're not afraid to walk away? With the Eight of Cups. Oh, we have the High Priestess. And when you, okay, you give off the vibe that when you walk away quietly. You don't make noise, you don't fuss, you don't fight, you don't argue. Somebody does something to you, you're like, okay, all right. And then the next thing you know, they try to call you, and then boop, the number is blocked, or this number has been disconnected because you changed your number or something. Or if they try to go on your social media the next day, like let's say they did something to you the day before, and the next day they try to go on your page, they can't find you anymore. You just do things quietly, you don't make noise. When you leave in peace, okay? That's the vibe that you give off. And then they will never see you again. You will disappear from the person's life altogether. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. We have the Two Wands. This is planning. What vibes do you give off? You're the Star. You give off the vibe that you're very popular. Okay, with the Star here, you have healing energy. Also, I'm getting like socialite energy. That's the vibe that you give off, that you are well known and highly respected as well. Okay, people respect you everywhere you go. You may have like a large social media following. Even if you do not have one, like you give off the vibe that you have the potential to gain that sort of recognition, that you are destined for, you know, something high and prestigious. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? That you are somebody who's very goal oriented as well, because the Two of Wands is somebody who is putting things together, you know, their ideas together and forming it and actually acting on it. And we also have the Three of Wands, so definitely a goal-getter energy. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. All right, so that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye!